The inability to engage in any self-awareness or assessment in regard to how Israel has carried out the complete demolition of the entirety of the Gaza Strip, the fact that they're killing innocents right now as we speak in Lebanon. They just refuse to acknowledge that most people don't like that and are going to be critical of Israel as it engages in that type of behavior.
Now, I want to ask you what you make of Netanyahu putting the responsibility of the military mission on the United States. He said, you go in and take it out. Yes, there's military might. I'm not going to talk about it, when the United States should do it. It's worth remembering that Israel has never contributed ground forces to any mission that they endorsed on behalf of the United States. I find that so upsetting. And the hubris of telling us what to do. Why do you think there's not a bigger outrage of a foreign leader telling us what we need to do?
I think there is outrage among American people. And in fact, you look at polling, and each time a new poll comes out, Israel loses more and more support from the American people. Where you're seeing a disconnect is through our political leadership, which carries out what's in the best interest of Israel time and time again. And it's really a bipartisan effort to carry out what's best for Israel to the detriment of the American people. But I think what we're noticing now among the electorate is those who were critical of Israel remain critical. However, that group is growing significantly. And I think in the upcoming elections, what we're going to see is this flat out rejection of political leaders or candidates who insist on taking money from the Israel lobby, who insist on carrying out Israel's best interests, who seem to prioritize Israel over the, best interests of the United States. And so I think that now there's going to be a lot more pressure from the electorate for the political leadership to change its behavior. And if they don't, there will be consequences for that. So again, I really don't think there's anything Israel can do in terms of censorship, more media buys, more efforts in punishing people who are critical of Israel. None of that is going to work. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. And by the way, one other thing I'll mention in regard to military operations and special forces in Iran to retrieve the enriched uranium. Remember, the enriched uranium and the nuclear weapons that Iran doesn't even have was always just a cover story in order to spur regime change in Iran, in order to start this war against Iran. Israel is a nuclear power. They're not worried about nuclear weapons in Iran. By the way, the other thing is, if you pay close attention to what Netanyahu says, he constantly moves the goalposts.